Sorry about that. I just need to get that out of the way. And I mean, what? You thought I was an actual ape for a second? I mean, I guess it's after seeing how great this movie is. Maybe I might be so. But anyways, stepping aside from all that, I hope all of you guys have actually had a really great Mother's Day this year for sure. And trust me when I say I actually did. And boy, actually it is actually quite interesting when you think about it. And well, I guess on top of course, pretty much what I had to do for Mother's Day this year. It's still pretty much back to business as normal, as I'm here to talk about the latest movie that had just came out not too long ago for sure, and I figure pretty much seeing how I did see it earlier today, I didn't actually see it with my mom. I actually, though quite frankly, I gave my mom a really nice Mother's Day card, which she absolutely loves. Oh no. I think I figure the heck I would actually do something a little special and actually take my grandmother to actually see this latest movie that had just came out not too long ago for sure, and yeah, I figure that's I think that still counts as a little Mother's Day treat for sure, because yeah, as much as I do love my mom for pretty much for everything to raise me and stuff, I think I still want to give a little something to, of course, my grandmother around that time for sure. And well, I figure pretty much that's exactly what I did. And with, of course, today's movie that I'm gonna be talking about here today, I think it would actually prove exactly that for sure. And well, and I guess given to that little hint I actually gave for sure, I think you will pretty much get the idea, of course, what I'm going to be talking about with today's movie I'm talking about in this latest thoughts video for sure. And for those who don't, well, I think you're clearly missing out for sure, and yeah. And I guess I'll give it to everything. Take your stinking mouse off of that back button, you damn dirty ape! So, yeah, I think, yeah, I guess that's another little hint for sure that I would actually give. So yeah, with that being said, I think for today's movie, I think it's about time that yeah, I am gonna pull off this little quote again for sure, is that I think it's about time that we travel ourselves to, of course, pretty much the well-known planet being invaded by those damn dirty apes. So yeah, that will of course give you the idea, of course, what I'm going to be talking about here today. But in case you're actually quite curious, I'm here to talk about the latest movie that just came out not too long ago. And boy, I've been really excited to actually see this one for sure, which is none other than Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. So yeah, that's of course what I'm going to be talking about here today. It is of course not only the latest film that just came out not too long ago, but it's also the latest installment in the most well-known movie series that's been around for a long time, which is of course, well, Planet of the Apes. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alrighty then, so yeah, before I can go ahead and talk about this latest movie, I think it makes sense to talk about, well, Planet of the Apes in a nutshell. Yeah, I think that is pretty much what I can say on, of course, that front, and by all means, why shouldn't I talk about this one for sure, because, yeah, if anything, who doesn't Planet of the Apes for sure. So yeah, I guess quite frankly, if you actually know anyone, of course, that has any knowledge of course, any movie in the sci-fi genre for sure, there's plenty of good examples that you can actually think of for sure. Like, of course, Star Trek is, of course, a good example, as well as, of course, Star Wars for sure, and of course, let's not forget to mention The Day the Earth Stood Still, and yeah, that's just to name me a few when it comes to a sci-fi for sure, whether it be the old classic or, yeah, the old classics or some of the new ones that we've actually got. And quite frankly enough, Planet of the Apes is definitely one of them for sure, so yeah, I guess quite frankly, the original Planet of the Apes, I can agree with a lot of people finally viewing this for sure. It's still to this day an absolute masterpiece for sure. Yeah, pretty much not only still hailed as a timeless classic for when it first came out several decades ago, to even nowadays still being quoted even to this day, ranging from "Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape," and of course the ending of course the original with of course the most iconic line, "You did it! You finally did it! You maniacs! You blew it up! Oh, damn you! God damn you all to hell!" Yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. And oh yeah, let's not forget to mention, it's a madhouse! A madhouse! So yeah, I guess quite frankly, the original Planet of the Apes pretty much is still being celebrated and quoted even to this day, even when it first came out for sure. And let's not forget to mention the later films for sure. They're a whole other story from what I can gather for sure. Like, of course, pretty much the sequels to the original Planet of the Apes movie. Well, probably from what I can gather, based on ranging any of them, I do know Escape from the Planet of the Apes is technically a good one, while all the other ones range from mediocre at best to just run-of-the-mill bad from what I can gather, so yeah, that's of course what I can say on my point of view for sure. And of course the Tim Burton Planet of the Apes remake, well, I'll give it credit, the makeup in it is actually really fantastic. By all means, much better than the original, and yes, I am actually saying that for sure. But the rest, on the other hand, I just kind of felt was a little bit too awkward and certainly a bad monkey to sit through for sure, So yeah, and of course, yeah, we cannot forget to, we cannot talk about this film without mentioning the last three Planet of the Apes movies that we actually got in the past decade, which are, of course, Rise of the Planet of the Apes from 2011, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes from 2014, and, of course, War for the Planet of the Apes in 2017. And quite frankly, yeah, bit of an interesting story from what I could gather. Pretty much in the past, I did kind of make a joke about saying that I thought Rise of the Planet of the Apes is a bad movie. Okay, settle down. Hear me out on, of course, this one. So yeah, that's of course what I first thought when I actually first watching with, of course, my parents several years ago after it came out on DVD for sure, but quite frankly, I came around to it upon rewatching it to prep myself up for the new one for sure, and yeah, I guess my mind has changed. I actually do think Rise of the Planet of the Apes is technically a pretty good movie for sure. I mean, granted, I think pretty much the CGI effects are a little bit dated from what I can gather, and that's all the way from 2011 for sure, right? But I will give it credit that he actually does want to go in a completely different direction and give us some new ideas while being its own interpretation of the original Planet of the Apes movie for sure. But that's pretty much what I can gather for Rise by far, while the other two sequels, Dawn and War, they're by all means fantastic sequels all the way, and I guess in between the two, I actually do find myself liking Dawn of the Planet of the Apes a whole lot more for sure, but that's just my point of view from what I can gather. Maybe I guess there are some good Planet of the Apes movies that are better than Dawn for sure, but that's pretty much what I could gather out of the films, and of course the recent Planet of the Apes trilogy we got in the past decade. I definitely do think Dawn is of course my all-time favorite, and of course, yes, I actually do enjoy War for sure, but not technically on the same level as Dawn for sure, So yeah, I think it's pretty much my perspective on, of course, all 9 of the previous Planet of the Apes movies upon watching them for sure, So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. And now, of course, when I heard the news about the newest Planet of the Apes movie that's coming out, I actually got myself really excited and see what kind of new direction and, of course, what other challenges they're willing to overcome for sure. And judging by what we got in the trailers, it actually does look like it's actually going to be epic and adventurous for sure. And I mean, how else will, of course, I place this movie at number 1, and, of course, my top 10 movies I'm excited to see for this year for sure. I mean, seriously, I had a hard time putting that list together, so cut me some slack. I need to have a good excuse to put this at number 1 for sure, mainly because it actually looks awesome, So yeah, I think that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front, and it's actually quite interesting when you think about it for sure, because technically this is actually the, even though this is the 10th installment in, of course, the Planet of the Apes movies in a nutshell, but it is also, believe it or not, the very first Planet of the Apes movie to be released since Disney bought out Fox for sure. Now, I mean, granted, we did already have pretty much other movies that Fox has released that's been out since Disney bought out Fox. Since Disney bought out Fox for sure, with, of course, well, the Predator series with Prey, which I would probably watch all the way through because I do hear it's pretty awesome. And of course, let's not forget to mention the recent Avatar sequel that we got a couple of years ago. That was released several years after the first film came out. And trust me when I say there's actually going to be plenty more of those coming up soon, so we'll have to wait and see on how they'll do. And let's not forget to mention, in a few months from now, looks like Alien, Alien is going to follow suit on that with, of course, Alien Romulus that's going to be coming out, which I am definitely looking forward to, by the way, so once I actually do go see it, I will let you guys know on what I thought about it for sure, But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the recent Planet of the Apes movie for sure, So yeah, given to that thought, I figure as a really nice Mother's Day treat for sure, I've actually decided to take my grandmother to actually go and see this movie for sure. Now you might be wondering to yourself, why can't I just bring my mom to see it with me, even though it is actually a Mother's Day for sure. Well, I would, but technically my mom is not really much of a sci-fi type of person for sure, so I'm not sure if she would actually be on board to actually see it for sure. And I assume if she is actually watching this for sure, I'm sure she probably may or may not understand for sure, but But yeah, given to all that, I've actually decided to take my grandmother to actually see this movie as, of course, a really nice Mother's Day treat, which still counts by the way, and yeah, we did manage to, of course, go and see this movie for sure, and now that I've officially got back from, of course, seeing it, I'm sure a lot of you guys may be wondering, what do I think of this movie now that I finally got the chance to see it? Well, I will have to say, I'm really glad the hype for this movie was actually well worth it on my part because, yeah, this movie, I will have to say, is just absolutely a lot of fun to watch for sure. So yeah, you definitely heard it right, folks. I really surprisingly enjoyed this movie for sure. Yeah, it's got everything that we expect, just going in a completely different direction and give us some fresh and new ideas for sure, while also being, well, a Planet of the Apes movie for sure. So yeah, given to all of that, yeah, technically I don't think it's actually as strong as, of course, the last 2 to 3 movies that we got for sure. But I do find myself having a really great time with it, and I do find it to be a pretty enjoyable movie for sure. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alright, so yeah, now that I've actually got the short version out of the way, I'll go ahead and talk about everything that I need to talk about with, of course, this film. For starters is, of course, the story, and honestly, to me, I do think the story, of course, this movie is actually pretty well structured out for sure, and I really do love, of course, some of the nice and unique ideas they actually throwing into it, while again, actually doing itself a favor and being, well, a Planet of the Apes movie for sure. So yeah, I actually really do think they structured it out quite well for sure, having it taking place many generations after the events of the last film for sure, but also acknowledge, of course, everything that's happening with the trilogy we got in the past decade for sure, which I do think is actually very clever, I have to say, and I'm really glad this movie actually decided to give off those nice little, pretty much, yeah, those nice little details for sure, so that way you won't get lost on everything that goes on for sure. And of course, it is actually really good to actually get yourself investing in, even if you don't actually see the previous Planet of the Apes movies beforehand for sure. So yeah. I really do like, of course, what it's actually done for sure, and not only that, but I also do love for the fact on the nice and unique ways they actually showed that the apes are pretty much evolving while the humans are de-evolving for sure, which I will have to say is actually quite nice. Yeah, again, not only keeping up on, of course, everything that goes on with, of course, everything that's happening in the last film, but also do acknowledge the themes and the commentary the original Planet of the Apes movie has given, which, of course, is, well, the roles are actually switched around, where instead of humans are smart and apes are dumb, it's actually apes are smart and humans are dumb. It's actually pretty easy to understand for sure, and I really do think this movie did an incredible job on that front, so. But yeah, that's pretty much what I can say. Of course, the story, of course, this film. Now, for the writing, I have to say, that too, I do think is actually a pretty well written, I have to say. I really do love on how well crafted it's actually put into it for sure. Now, granted, some parts of it I just kind of thought were a little bit weak writing-wise, and it could have been either taken out or could have been written a whole lot better. But the rest, on the other hand, is still actually written out quite well, and it really does help out on everything that goes on throughout the course of this movie. That I really do follow through all the way for sure, and not only that, I think they actually did throw in a couple bits of comedy for sure, which actually did give me a really good laugh for sure. And yeah, if you actually see this movie for yourself, you'll see what I mean for sure. So yeah, I think that's pretty much what I can say. Of course, those aspects in a nutshell for sure. Like I said, could use a little reworking on some parts here and there, but the rest, on the other hand, is still actually brilliantly well done, and actually gave us exactly what we're hoping for with, of course, this one. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright, so yeah. now that I've actually got those out of the way, I'll go ahead and talk about the next couple of things that I need to talk about for sure, which are, of course, for starters, the characters. And honestly, to me, I really do think the characters in, of course, this film, I really do think they are actually pretty likable characters for sure. I really do acknowledge, of course, pretty much on how well developed they are, and I think it actually does serve as part of their story arcs, going through a bit of a coming-of-age storyline within them, but still actually want to acknowledge, of course, what movie they're in for sure. So yeah, I really do like how well developed the characters are for sure, whether it be with, of course, pretty much our new main lead, Noah. I believe that's what his name is. Yeah, I will admit, I think he actually does serve as, of course, a nice new, pretty much as the nice new protagonist to follow for sure. And I guess it is actually a pretty interesting way to follow that up, since after Caesar and, of course, the last films that we got for sure. And I really do think it is actually a welcome change for sure. So. And yeah, let's not forget to mention the rest of the characters. I do acknowledge, of course, what they've actually gone through for sure, and how they're willing to overcome their flaws and their problems for sure, which I really do admire the most out of course, everything that goes on in this movie for sure. And yeah, I really do think it is actually brilliantly well done for sure. So yeah, and of course, the actors that came on board to play all these characters, I'm not gonna lie, I really do think they gave off some pretty good performances, I have to say for sure. They really did do their best to work around the material that's actually being given for sure, and actually give off some really, really nice delivery in their performances for sure. So yeah, I think it's safe to say that I really do admire some of the good casting choices they actually did, and yeah, all the actors that came on board, they definitely put all their all into, of course, giving a good performance for sure, which I really do admire in, of course, this movie for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front for sure. So yeah. Both the characters and the actors, I definitely do think are actually brilliantly well done for sure. And yeah, I really do follow through, of course, what goes on and what kind of flaws they're willing to overcome by the end of this movie for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alright, so yeah, now that I've actually got those out of the way, what else is there for me to talk about? Actually, quite a whole lot for sure. Now, I guess for starters, I think we might as well talk about, well, the visuals and the effects, of course, of this film. And yeah, I guess there's no doubt in my mind, I really do think these movies have actually come a long way in terms of its visuals and the effects for sure. Like, visually, I really do admire, of course, how well the film actually looks for sure, and even the incredible world building that they actually put into it for sure. You really do feel that the entire world the movie takes place in is really really overgrown and feels post-apocalyptic for sure. Definitely something that you would expect out of course, well, being in a planet invaded by apes for sure, which, yeah, I really do think is actually really brilliantly well done for sure. Pretty much everything that goes on digitally with, of course, some really nice and unique set pieces they actually put into it. You really do feel like you actually are in this world where apes have actually taken over and everything starts collapsing on itself and feels overgrown, almost like it's starting to become a massive jungle all around us that all these monkeys and apes would actually pretty much inhabit for sure. So yeah, and of course let's not forget to mention effects wise, I really do think the CGI of course this film is actually brilliantly well done for sure. Definitely taking notes and even improving on what the effects and of course the previous Planet of the Apes movies gave us, and actually gave us something that actually does feel like it's really there for sure. And yeah, and I know that's definitely saying a whole lot for sure, because yeah, I really do like, of course, on how well the apes look, and of course the original film for sure, but I do think it could have been improved upon a whole lot more to actually make them look like, well, actual apes for sure. And that's definitely something that I will acknowledge right here. The Tim Burton remake actually did well with its makeup and stuff. Yeah, pretty much making them look like actual apes for sure, which I really do admire the most, despite the fact that we all know the Tim Burton remake is just absolute crap for sure. But that's something I really do admire, of course, the remake as one thing for sure. Although I still can't get enough of Tim Roth pretty much giving a massive over-the-top performance as Thade. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that either, so... So yeah, that's on what I can say, of course, that front. And let's not forget to mention pretty much the CGI effects and stuff to make the apes look like they're really there, going all the way from Rise to War for sure. Yeah, I think I will acknowledge that for Rise, I will give it credit that they did do their best to make them look like actual apes for sure, but I think they could have been a little bit more rendered out quite well, and fix up some of the textures to make it look like they're really there for sure, which is not technically pretty much the worst thing I can say for sure, but I mean, I do like what they did with, of course, Rise for sure, but effects-wise, I think it could have been improved upon a little better, which thankfully is what we got with both Dawn and War for sure, which is actually quite nice, and I'm really glad that this movie actually really took note on that, and actually kept it going from there, and yeah, in the end, I really do think the CGI and the effects, and of course, this film actually does work quite well, to be honest, and yeah, really is, yeah, really does make it look like the apes you see on screen are really there for sure, So yeah, that's something I really do admire in, of course, this movie. I'm really glad they actually took note on what the effects actually gave us in the previous movies for sure. And let's not forget to mention the action, I have to say. I will have to admit, it is actually brilliantly well done for sure. I really do admire the intensity of everything that goes on for sure, and I'll admit, the callbacks and stuff to what we got with the previous Planet of the Apes movies for sure, it can be a little bit grating at times, but thankfully some of the great stuff they actually gave us action-wise did actually distract me from, of course, all that for sure. So that's something I can give this movie credit for on that front. So yeah, and of course, pretty much the direction of this the direction of this film from pretty much the film's director this time around is Wes Ball for sure, and I'll admit, I actually do think it's actually quite good for sure. Not technically the best I've actually seen directing-wise, but I really do admire the pretty much the hard-working effort Wes has actually gave to give this movie the direction it needs for sure, which I do admire for sure. So yeah, and of course the cinematography is actually brilliantly well done with some really great camera shots they actually pull off for sure, and yeah, and of course the editing, I have to say, definitely is cut up perfectly through some really fantastic editing for sure, which I really do admire for sure, and most importantly, I really do admire, of course, the atmosphere that this movie is actually gave us for sure, just showing off this really intense environment from what I can gather, and I guess, moreover, I really do admire, of course, pretty much the nice and unique twists and turns and some new ideas they wanted to do to actually make this movie work, while actually still being a Planet of the Apes movie for sure. So yeah, I think that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front for sure. So yeah. Okay, I guess I'm done with that. Much better. Alrighty then, so yeah, I guess that's pretty much everything that I can say, of course, this one for sure. So yeah, I guess overall, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I wouldn't technically say it's actually as strong as, of course, the previous 2 to 3 movies that we got beforehand for sure. But I do find it to be an absolute joy and certainly a marvelous movie that I really can't help but say that I really do admire for sure. It's got everything that I would expect for sure, just showing off some nice and unique ideas while throwing in some twists and turns at the same time, while still being a Planet of the Apes movie in a nutshell for sure, which I really do think is probably moreover hands out, because hey, if it isn't a Planet of the Apes movie for sure, then what are you left with? Kind of my point when you really think about it for sure. So yeah, I guess if anything, I really do enjoy this movie for what it is, and yeah, given to all that from what I've actually seen, I think they really pulled off everything they can to actually make this one actually really great for sure, and it did accomplish that quite well for sure. Yeah, again, I think I know that's saying a whole lot, because yeah, pretty much the previous 2 to 3 movies that we got beforehand, I would probably stick with a whole lot more for sure, because it actually does throwing some stuff that would actually be very creative for sure, while still expanding on, of course, what was so great about the original for sure. But this movie really did give me a really good enough time for what it is, and I really do think it is something that's definitely well worth the watch for sure. So yeah, I think that's what I can say, of course, that front. So in the end, yeah, I do highly recommend checking this movie out for sure. Yeah, I think you might get pretty much a far different reaction from what I've actually got for sure. But for me, I definitely do think this movie is definitely well worth the watch for sure. So yeah, if you are looking for something that will give you a really good enough time for sure, then yeah, this movie is for you. And trust me when I say this is definitely a really good monkey to have around for sure. And I know a lot of you guys may think that I should have said a good ape to have around with. Well, let me assure you that monkey is, of course, funny, while ape isn't. Starting to know the difference for sure. So, but yeah, nevertheless, I do highly recommend this movie all the way, and I say this is definitely well worth checking out for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah, for my final score, yeah, I guess there's no doubt in my mind, I'm definitely going to give Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes an absolutely outstanding 8.5 out of 10 as my final score. Certainly, I think, yeah, like I said, I definitely don't think it's actually as strong as the previous films that we actually got, but I definitely do think it's actually a really great time for sure, that I definitely do think is well worth the watch all the way. So I guess if it's something up your alley for sure, then by all means give this movie a watch for sure. You're definitely going to get something really incredible for sure, and of course, yeah, and of course it's something that I know you'll definitely watch over and over again, whether you like it or not, you damn dirty ape! Yeah, I know I had to pull it off again for sure, but hey, Can you really blame me for that? But yeah, nevertheless, I do recommend this movie all the way, and if you haven't seen it yet, do so. It's definitely well worth it for sure, so yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alright, so I guess on that thought, that'll pretty much do exactly that. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this latest thoughts video, and by all means, I want to ask all of you guys, what do you think of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes if you've actually seen it for sure? Do you absolutely enjoy it and think it's a really great movie all the way, or do you absolutely hate it and think it's pretty much not gonna need at this point, much like all the other bad Planet of the Apes movies that we got beforehand? Or are you somewhere in between where you think it's just okay, of course, that front? So yeah, let me know what you thought about this movie in the comment section below. I would definitely love to know on what you guys think for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Thank you guys so much for watching this latest thoughts video, and yeah, trust me when I say there's going to be plenty more on the way, so I think you're actually going to be in for something really great. So yeah, I'll be really excited to see what I'll be talking about next for sure. And wait, hold on a second. I just realized something. How many videos have I actually put out, of course, this channel as of now? Whoa! 999 videos overall. Wow! Yeah, I guess that means for the next one. I definitely know I would see this coming, so give me a second, hold on. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, I guess quite frankly, now that we made it to 999 videos on, of course, this channel, I guess it looks like for the next video that'll be coming up, yeah, I think pretty much this thing that I got right here will give you an idea, of course, will be next for sure. But what do you think I'm gonna be doing to celebrate this milestone, you may be asking? Tune in tomorrow to see exactly what it is for sure. So yeah, but until then, I'll leave you at that for sure. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. God, I'm so excited for this. Special thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon for making today's video possible, including my top tier supporters for this month, VD. So if you want to be like these guys and show your support to us, then go to patreon.com/AckleyattackTV to pledge now, do so, and get some awesome rewards within your budget. Hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Feel free to like, comment, and share if you enjoy what you're seeing. If you like what you see here and want to see more videos coming up, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and switch on the notification bell to get notifications, and select all notifications to be notified for when we post a new video. And don't forget to switch on notifications on your phone as well. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel and our 2-member channel with Sam the Thomas Fan 1, SamAttack4427TheThomasFan1 Productions, for plenty more content you can't find on here. You can check both of our channels out with the links or by our handles provided on screen. Feel free to shoot me an email with my email address provided, backley95@hotmail.com, if you want to ask me a question, want to collab with me for a project you've got in the works, or if you want to book me to be featured for a convention coming up. Follow me on my social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases of my videos, as well as plenty of others I've got with my handles provided, as well as the links down in the description box below. Also, don't forget to follow me on TikTok for other videos I've got aside from the ones I've posted on YouTube, and on Twitch for any future live streams I've got coming up soon, as well as join our official Discord server to see what we've provided.
If you wish to show your support to me, then feel free to check out my Patreon to get sneak peeks of my videos coming up before they go up online, as well as getting access to updates and playing more, in addition to getting some awesome rewards within your budget. Also, don't forget to check out and show your support to me on my wishlist on Amazon, and even supporting me at streamlabs.com/Ackleyattack427's/tip that you can find in the description box below, as well as on my Twitch page. And in case you can't find any of the links that are provided, then not to worry about a thing. All the links and stuff are also provided on my link tree that you can also find in the description box below, as well as a few selected number of my social media pages. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video. Take care.